He is in the middle of a dragged-out court case with his ex-fiance Blac Chyna. He is the somewhat forgotten about Kardashian, and he prefers to keep a low profile as far as possible. But since he's a Kardashian, Rob must live a pretty luxurious lifestyle, and he must have a pretty decent net worth, right? After all, he probably earned quite well in the past, having been a part of a few reality shows, including Dancing with the Stars. It's true that he has struggled with his weight for the past 12 years, but he seems to be taking back control. Join us as we take a look at the lifestyle and net worth of Rob Kardashian. Rob Kardashian might not have the kind of social media following as the rest of the Kardashian-Jenner clan, but he has still managed to build quite a net worth, and he lives a pretty luxurious lifestyle. Granted, with the ongoing court case brought against him and his family by Blac Chyna, life probably isn't as cushy as it can be, but still we'd much rather be crying in a multi-million-dollar mansion than a studio apartment, all while driving around in a super sweet ride. He was born on March 17th of 1987 and rose to fame following the O.J. Simpson trial. His late father, Rob Sr., represented the old family friend during his murder trial. The Kardashian children used the media spotlight to search for fame, and well, they found it. Rob has always been seen as the black sheep of the family and has never really chased fame as much as his sisters. However, when your last name is Kardashian, fame kinda comes with a package, doesn't it? But why has he never been so keen to live a life in the spotlight? We'll explore the reason in just a bit. Black sheep or not, Rob lives a pretty luxurious lifestyle and sits on a net worth of $25 billion US. Not bad for the least known one of the family, right? Just wait till you hear where he lives. Let's just say you better get ready for a pretty serious trip down memory lane. Initially, Rob appeared on the first few seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and then moved on to a few spin-offs, but he has been keeping a pretty low profile over the last few years, mainly due to the constant struggle with his weight. Rob has struggled with his weight for most of his public life. He first started gaining weight in 2010 and has struggled with it and subsequently his health on an on-again and off-again basis ever since. While he has worked hard to slim down after his initial gain, he's often struggled to keep the weight off. This is thought to be the main reason why he started retreating from the cameras and why his public appearances became a rarity, up until fairly recently, that is. In December 2015, Rob was hospitalized after being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 6 months earlier. He had another diabetes-related hospitalization the year after. In 2016, though, shortly after his second hospitalization, and after the birth of his daughter, Dream, Rob really started turning his life around. Sadly, the reason behind his motivation to live a healthier lifestyle would soon turn into a nightmare. While Rob often credited Blac Chyna for motivating him to lose weight, the couple split in 2017 and they were involved in a pretty messy child custody battle for almost 3 years after that. Has this had an effect on his weight loss efforts? Yes and no. In June 2019, Rob revealed for the first sake of his daughter, he was continuing with his fitness regimen and made headlines a few months later when he debuted as a much slimmer figure while posing with his momager Kris Jenner in their Halloween costumes. In 2020, he showed off an even thinner figure when he posed for photos at Khloe's 36th birthday party. In 2021, Kim posted a pic to her Instagram account, which showed Rob looking even slimmer and trimmer. Might we soon be treated to the male version of the revenge body? While the current court case is sure to bring a bit more unwanted drama back into his life, he at least seems to be heading in the right direction. He currently lives in a glorious Calabasas mansion, the one Kris used to live in actually. You know, the one that was used for filming during the early years of Keeping Up with the Kardashians? And no, apart from a bit of seasonal redecorating, Rob has chosen to leave the house as is. From the iconic bar area with sweet treats in massive glass containers, to the black and white checkered kitchen. Though with his new active, healthier kind of lifestyle, we have to wonder whether those treats are just for show. Surely they are not what a diabetic should be snacking on. Rob lives in the former family home with his daughter Dream. Apparently he now shares equal custody with Blac Chyna, though he's also been reported as saying quite recently that he has Dream for 6 days a week. With the drama surrounding the current trial, Rob is adamant about keeping his life as normal as possible for his daughter. A source close to the family is reported as saying, he believes it is important to be present in keeping Dream feeling secure and safe throughout the family drama. Rob has no issue appearing in court if he is called as a witness, but until then, spending time with Dream is his main priority. He has, of course, since appeared in court. We'll tell you all about his testimony a little bit later. It would appear that with his slimmer physique, Rob is also starting to get back to his usual old self. And by that, we mean his old spending habits. In 2020, he bought himself the car of his dreams, a stunning Rolls-Royce Cullinan SUV, priced at almost $500,000. It's called the Cullinan and is named after the world's largest diamond. So yes, it's a pretty fancy ride. The gunmetal gray car was customized by Platinum Motorsports, a company that has pimped out so many of the Kardashian-Jenner's cars that they might want to consider putting the company on a retainer. The car's interior is all black and the windows are tinted. Nobody knows the net worth of privacy as much as a Kardashian, right? He has of course owned and driven quite a few other luxury cars in the past. Cars such as a Range Rover, Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon, and a Lamborghini Aventador, priced at a jaw-dropping $393,000. But since it was customized, we're guessing it cost him a whole lot more than just the standard price. Rob has always been a key businessman and has tried his hand at quite a few different business ventures, his latest being a clothing line. But before we tell you more, remember to like and subscribe buttons. You might remember one of his first business ventures as a sock designer, right? Well, while Arthur George did really well for several years, Rob sadly had to sell more than half of his shares to Chris, which means he is no longer the owner of the company. What's a guy to do when his business isn't doing too well? You sell it, kinda, and move on. Does that mean he is no longer interested in carving out his own little spot within the world of business? Absolutely not. In 2019, he launched a clothing line called Halfway Dead, in collaboration with Nikki Diamonds, creator and designer of clothing brand Diamond Supply Co. The brand, which consists of graphic tees, hoodies, and pants, is only available online. Why the weird name? According to Diamonds, Halfway Dead is the balance of all things, happy and sad, winning and losing, life and death. It's your middle ground feeling. You're not alive or dead. Well, if it's put like that, we guess it kind of makes sense. The current publicity brought on by Blac Chyna trial will no doubt be good for business. As they say, any publicity is good publicity, right? At first, it wasn't clear whether Rob would actually be called to testify during the trial. But after a week of court proceedings, he was called to the stand. He told the court that he met Blac Chyna during a very low point in his life, and at first, she made him feel loved and cared for. However, he says that soon changed and the relationship became toxic. So much so that he now realizes it wasn't real love. Both parties have thrown about some serious allegations in court, with Blac Chyna claiming that the Kardashian-Jenner family has ruined her reputation, and Rob claiming she has tried to kill him during an incredibly heated argument. Whatever the outcomes of the trial, both parties stand to lose and gain quite a bit.